Hello. Hello. How are y'all? Great. Good? Awesome? Yes. Well, thank you all for being here. My name's Aaron Keith. I'll be leading the seminar tonight. So for those that don't know me, my name's Aaron. You all met Randy on the way in. So tonight, if you guys need anything, Randy, that's Randy. Everyone turn around. That's Randy. If you need anything, see Randy. She'll point you to the bathrooms. You need a pen, you need paper. Randy's the one to talk to. Now, quick show of hands. How many of you, this is your first time with us? Awesome. Thanks for being here. So you know about Randy. If you need something, grab Randy.
Got it.
Okay. Now, how many of you, this is you're a returning person? You've been here before. Wow. Awesome. Thanks for coming back. It's great to see you all. So listen, I know you guys have a lot on your plate. Thank you for making time in your day to be here. I know you have a lot of emails, things to do, traffic. Thanks for working things out so you guys can be here tonight. I appreciate it. So we got a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to roll through this a little bit quick. I want to explain, especially for those of you who are new, I want to explain a little bit why these seminars exist. So I started Ascension, and I started these seminars every month, so selfishly, so I can do what I love to do. I like to work with business owners on growing and expanding their business. This gives me the format in which to do that. So really, thanks for allowing me to do my expression here. Second, it's very important for business owners to be able to work on your business. Not in your business, but actually step back and actually work on your business. This gives us a format in which to do that. Does that make sense? It's very important we all do that. Because a lot of times we get stuck in the minutia and we're working in our business day to day, and next thing we know, it's been a couple months and we haven't worked on our strategy or worked on our finances in a while. So that's what this gives us an opportunity to kind of check in. Second, I wanted there to be a group dynamic. I mean, again, for business owners, we need to be around other business owners. For the idea sharing, the networking, the camaraderie, just the connection you get, and referrals, huge part. Do you know an attorney? Do you know a good bookkeeper? Just that information sharing is huge. So I want to have a place here in San Diego where business owners can come and meet other like-minded business owners from around the city and see if there's a connection, see how you can support each other. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of why these seminars exist. Now, a couple things also to note. I'm actually doing it right now. I'm talking a mile a minute. I love this conversation tonight. And you'll start to notice that I'll talk a mile a minute. So if I'm talking a mile a minute, please slow me down. You guys promise to do that? Yep. Raise your hand. Dude, can you repeat that? You're talking really fast. You guys need to really give me the brakes if I need them. What else? If you're like sharing and you're talking, I'm sitting here going like this. I look really serious. This is my listening face. It's a really serious face. I promise everything's okay in here. I'm really happy. I just really intently want to hear what you have to say. So just smile at me. I promise I'll lighten up a little bit. Deal? Yeah. Is that it? That's it. Okay. So with that in mind, let's get to work. Who will be willing to read the intention tonight that we're out to fulfill on? Please.
That you uncover what is impeding your current capacity and understand how it's affecting the growth and consistency of your business. Awesome.
So the first time it kind of hits us. Second time we're going to let this thing just wash all over. So one more time, smidge louder, just so the back of the...
That you uncover what is impeding your current capacity and understand how it's affecting the growth and consistency of your business.
Thank you. What do you all hear inside the intention? Don't all go at once. There's plenty of time.
Find out what's holding us back, or when our goal is to find not the negatives, but the stumbling blocks and how to overcome them.
Okay, how to find the stumbling block? How to find the stumbling blocks?
How to find the stumbling blocks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're holding you back. Shane and then Renee?
I was going to say something similar, that there's something holding back my capacity and it is discoverable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very discoverable. We're going to take several passes at that. Renee?
What I'm hearing is that there is a current capacity that exists. Like we actually have it. We can have that.
The letter.
We actually have that current capacity, but something's impeding it. Perhaps something's impeding it. We're here to discover, but I'm hearing that we have a current capacity.
We do.
And we need to see what that is too.
Right. There's a lot of uncovering tonight. A lot about tonight is really going to be discovering something. So there's two things. One, maybe two. Let's see. The first thing is I want to make sure you guys really look tonight. For you guys to get the value out of tonight, you need to be really insightfully straight with yourself. I mean, really straight with yourself. Or tonight, it's going to be surface. This conversation is going to require you really going deep and being really honest with yourselves. Can you guys do that? Yep. So it doesn't have to look pretty. I prefer it doesn't look pretty because that's going to make a difference. Okay? Really look. Be straight with yourselves. Okay. So we're talking about capacity tonight as a distinction. So the distinction capacity. So let's get on the same page as to what capacity is. What do y'all think capacity is? How do you define capacity?
The ability to do a certain volume.
The ability to do a certain volume. Okay?
Whatever, if you're holding water, if you're doing sales or whatever.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, kind of like the amount of business you can do in the amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Or a certain allotted amount of time.
Yep. Definitely, that works. Up here? What else?
Maybe what you're capable of, your potential for implementing your ideas, your skills, your mission.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that potential is your capacity.
Yep. Okay, good. What else? In the back? Yep.
What you think your capacity is.
What you think your capacity is.
Your perception of your own capacity.
Your perception of your own capacity. Okay, good. Well said. So let's give an example. Do you mind if I steal your water? So here's an example, right? Let's just pretend this glass holds 8 ounces of water. Now, a lot of you are trying to put 10 ounces of money in your 8-ounce glass. Some of you are trying to put 10 ounces of customers in your 8-ounce glass, or 10 ounces of staff in your 8-ounce glass. And it's filling over. It's going over the top, right? So what happens when you try to put more water in a glass than it holds? What happens? It spills over and it goes away from you. That's what's happening to a lot of you in your businesses right now. Whether you can see it or not, you're trying to get more customers, more money, more things, and it's spilling over. You don't have the room for it. A lot of you, it's spilling over because your capacity is full. Why? Because you're not demonstrating you can handle the capacity you already have. If your cup holds 8 ounces and that's your capacity, then that's all you get to handle. So as you try to get more of something and you don't obtain it, a lot of times it's because your capacity is diminished and you just can't hold it. So how are you going to get 10 ounces of water?
Get a bigger glass.
Get a bigger glass. Tonight is all about getting a bigger glass. It's expanding your capacity in the domain of your business. And we're going to look at every facet of your business, area by area by area. Make sense? Okay, is that clear? Yeah. Any questions? Anyone fuzzy? Okay. Just checking. So at Ascension Programs, I have a particular distinction I've created over the years around capacity. So I'm going to read you the distinction, then we're going to talk about it for a minute. If you want to write this down, you can. I can repeat it twice if you want. So the distinction capacity. Capacity is to the degree that you can handle what you have now with integrity over time is to the same degree in which you can have more of it. Capacity is distinguished by what you can handle while keeping balance in place consistently, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. Thank you. Yeah, let's say that again. And it's rich. We're going to talk about this. So it's a rich hunk of words. Capacity is to the degree that you can handle what you have now with integrity over time is to the same degree in which you can have more of it. Capacity is distinguished by what you can handle while keeping balance in place consistently, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let you guys keep writing, catch up. Yeah, absolutely. Now, actually, if you guys want, make a note. I can email you the distinction. Want to do that? Let's do that. We'll save a tree. Just make a note on your notes here. Email Aaron distinction capacity, and I'll email it all to you so it's simple. This is one of those distinctions that's worth having in your business binder, so you stay present to it. Okay? So what do you all hear inside the distinction? Yeah, please.
Number one thing for me is balance in my life.
Balance is huge.
That's the biggest part.
Yeah, brilliant. Well heard. I'm glad you heard that. What else? Yeah.
Kind of what you have now, and then what you can recognize, what you can have down the road or in the future.
Good. Well said. What else? This side of the room's winning, P.S.
That you need to focus on all three of those elements, that mentally, emotionally, physically, and be aware of all of those.
Did you all hear her? You guys hear her back there or no?
No.
One more time to turn around. And
That you need to be aware of all the three areas, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and those aren't always present every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's different facets to this distinction. Again, this is a really rich distinction. A lot of facets to it, so we're going to work with all the different parts and pieces tonight. Is that making sense? Anyone lost? You got to let me know, because we got to make sure this is really clear before we work with it. All right, so let's jump in and look at another facet of this. What are some of the symptoms of having a diminished capacity in your business? Right, because that's what we're going to be talking about a lot tonight, is your capacity is going to get diminished. What are some of the symptoms? Yeah? Stress. Stress and overwhelm. Anyone, any of that?
Lots.
Okay, good. It's a diminished capacity. Shane, do you have your hand up?
I was going to say overwhelmed, overworked.
Overwhelmed, overworked. And even overworked blends into balance a little bit, like she's saying. So yeah.
You keep coming up against the same roadblocks.
Yes, if you're running up against the same breakdowns, same roadblocks, that's a diminished capacity. That's pointing to a diminished capacity. What else? Yeah?
A lot of fire killing, like trying to catch up and like put out fires everywhere, rather than just being proactive and being able to handle this at all times.
When you're, can we say reactive? If you're being reactive, that's a massive red blinking sign with fireworks behind it saying that you are having a diminished capacity. What else? What are some other symptoms?
Fruitless efforts. Does that make sense?
Fruitless efforts, like you're taking action, but the results are just like, eh.
Oh yeah, or you take action and maybe a result happen, but you don't have the capacity to take them on.
Right.
So you did that, and you're not prepared for that.
Do you all understand what she said? What she said is gold. Say it, turn around and say it again. Really listen to what she said. She just said something that's gold.
I said that you might make efforts, like marketing or things that you expect to be put forward good for your business, but you aren't able to take on the results of those efforts. So fruitless.
Mm-hmm. What happens is with your capacity, if you don't have the capacity to handle your 10 ounces and you're trying your booty off to get those 10 ounces, it's not going to happen. You're going to have failure. You're going to have breakdown. Clients are not going to stay. Customers are not going to stay. How many of you have a spike and you can hold it for a little bit of time, then it fades back down to like a normal? How many of you actually have that? That's all capacity. 110% all capacity issue. A lot of what we're working on tonight is to build your company up and have it be consistent over time. So this will affect your business in many ways. Two of the bigger ones I want to look at tonight is consistency. You cannot have consistency in your business without capacity. Really get that. Really get that. How many of you have been trying to grow your business, but there's like, you know what, there's a ceiling. Like I try to get up, I got a little momentum that I hit something and like I'm just not getting to that next level and actually staying there. Is there anyone in the room that's your experience? All capacity. That's all capacity. 110% all capacity. Make sense? I use this distinction with almost every single client. Probably, I have a coaching call every single week with every client, so probably 2 out of the 4 coaching calls a month are capacity-related conversations. This is a massive distinction. I mean massive. So here's the cool part. Tonight we're using capacity in the domain of business, right? Capacity works in you can talk about relationships. Capacity has everything to do with your relationship. Has everything to do with your fitness and your well-being. Capacity applies to every area of your life. We're just using it tonight in the area of business. But it's a universal distinction. It can apply anywhere. So once you really get the distinction, capacity, you can diagnose your business, you can diagnose relationships, your fitness, your health, and you can start to see why things aren't progressing in a particular way. Does that make sense? So I really want to make sure you guys are getting this. That's why I'm spending the time creating the distinction. Because once you know this, this is a tool you'll use for the rest of your career or the rest of your life. This is the single most used distinction I have for my own company. When I hike, what I ask myself as I'm taking my hike around Torrey Pines, where am I having a breakdown in my capacity? Where's the breakdown? There's always a breakdown, always. Why? Because we're always moving to that next level, yes? This distinction will stay alive for the rest of your career. Because with every new level, what comes? A new breakdown. Because at every level, you have to expand. And at every level, the cup becomes too small. You know, you're a guy who just had a baby, and next thing you know, you need a bigger capacity, yes? What? Well, you were there in spirit. Come on. You cheered her on. But did your capacity as a man, as a business owner, as a husband have to expand?
Yes.
What are some of the ways it had to expand?
I guess you need to expand in the amount of time devoted to the family.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to be there. I needed to be present with my wife and child to help her on, the house, help with the baby more than I ever had. There was no baby prior, so.
Right. Yeah. So that changed, and now it's really easy for his business to get impacted by that change. But no, what is he going to do? He's going to expand his capacity so he can handle more on his plate, right? Tonight's all about that. Bigger plate, bigger cup. Okay, let's just switch the conversation just a little bit. So here's a question for you. What are some of the ways in which our capacity can be insufficient or diminished? Like, what are some of the ways that that can happen?
Lack of systems.
Lack of systems. Well said. What else? Yeah, in the back.
Physical well-being.
Physical well-being, huge. What else? Yeah.
Negative self-talk.
Negative self-talk. Yep. Mindset, belief systems, views, opinions.
Inadequate staff.
Inadequate staff. Huge. Big one. Yeah.
Distracted.
Dis-
In different directions.
In which way? Give me. You're right, but say more.
Well, I'm just speaking from personal experience. I have a tendency to get very distracted and then sort of lose focus and start one thing and then not finish maybe and move on to something else and jump around.
How many of you get distracted by something else? Move around. Oop, shiny toy over here. Ooh, Facebook. Woohoo! You should.
My to-do list.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at all these things that I'm trying to accomplish, and one of these things might take 10 hours, even though it's only one line, and the next thing might take 1 hour. So sometimes it's like, where do you balance time management?
Time management, yep.
And I've normally always been good at it, but this is a new thing in charge of my own business, so it's different.
Next level, breakdown in capacity. Remember, anytime you go to the next level, what is there? A breakdown in capacity. It's a foregone conclusion. It's not bad. It's excellent. You should look forward to it. It's an opportunity. It's all it is. Yeah?
For me, it's...
Nice and loud.
For me, with my new upcoming starting business, it's getting people that want to have the service and then they back out. Maybe after you send the proposal contract or maybe before that. So it's kind of that, it's the deflation of getting and then not.
Yep, emotional roller coaster. Good. So if we take everything that you've all said so far and we boil it down, it's going to fall in 3 buckets. Mental capacity, emotional capacity, and physical capacity. We have 3 buckets. Mental, emotional, and physical. Because remember, part of the distinction we were creating here. For us to have this, we need to have our capacity in each one of those areas expanded. So your cup's getting a lot of action tonight. Sorry. So your cup can be really light and be really empty around physical capacity. But your emotional or your physical could be very light in area. You may have a lot of room. But your mental emotional could be completely tapped out and overflowing. Or vice versa. Mentally, emotionally may be great. but your physical capacity could be completely tapped out. So it could be a combination of all of that. It really depends. That's what we're going to look at tonight. So it's not just looking at my business, does it have capacity or no capacity? It's my business and every area of my business. There's 7 areas of your business. We're going to go over them in a minute. And we're going to look at each area of your business and see, am I mentally at capacity, emotionally at capacity, physically at capacity? Does that make sense? Anyone confused? You guys look really serious. You know that? Okay. Anyone okay?
We're focusing.
Focused. Okay. Any questions at this point? Promise? All right. So let's give examples.
Okay, wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so what if you're just starting?
Uh-huh.
So there's like this big glass and really no water in it.
We have water in the back of the room.
So the goal is to fill it up.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's where I am. I don't know where everybody else is, but I'm at the beginning. So I don't know if at the beginning stages are different than as you
Progress?
but
It's a good question. It's a good question. How many of you...
I just had a big deal fall through too, just like this woman. It's like, really? I mean, I was like, and then it's like, okay, well.
Start over.
Start over.
Okay. Tomorrow's a new day. How many of you, your business is new? Relatively new, quite new? New, okay, good. All right, got that. Great. How many of you had a business for many years? Okay. How many of you have been in business a long time? Yes, okay, great. Doesn't matter where you are. Capacity is capacity, because at each level, the capacity you have is the capacity you have. You have a lot or you don't. You have room or you don't. It's pretty black and white. There's either room for 8 ounces or there's not. The 9 ounces won't fit no matter how many times you try. And a lot of you have been trying a lot. And you still won't fit in the same freaking glass. Yes, you've been trying to cram in 9 ounces and you get really mad when it doesn't fit. So that's why tonight's all about you. Because it's your capacity, it's your business. It's your capacity. So let's look at some examples so we can get on the court with this. So let's start with mental capacity first. So here's the question. What is an example of having a diminished mental capacity? As someone in the room laughs. Well, let's go with the one who laughed. What you got?
Me?
Yeah, you laughed.
Like a freak out session.
So explain, what does a freak out session look like?
Just like feeling like a mental breakdown, like a meltdown.
Mm-hmm. Anyone have those? Anyone want to have one of those? Anyone need one of those? Yeah, that's it. If your day ends like that, or that's happening in your business frequently, you're at emotional capacity. Absolutely, it's emotional capacity. That's not mental, that's emotional. Let's do this. Let me back up a stage. Let me distinguish them a little bit clearer. So here's mental capacity. Knowledge and information. Your mental capacity equals knowledge and information. That's how we're going to measure that. So if you're mentally at capacity, we're having a breakdown on information or knowledge. Emotional capacity is our emotions, our feelings. Our physical capacity is tangibility. It's something tangible, something material, something structural. So as we're working with the different pieces tonight, that's what we want to look at. Mental capacity, knowledge, information. Emotional capacity, our feelings, our emotions. Physical capacity, something structural, something tangible, something material. Randy?
Can we get some examples?
Yeah, we're going to do that right now. So let's look. So we just did emotional. Okay, that's an example of emotional capacity. You're mentally at, your emotions are going crazy, you need a good cry. Yeah, Renee?
Can I give you an example of mental?
Yes, please, mental.
So mental,
Nice and loud.
in the area of knowledge and information would be some technology you don't know.
Yeah.
You need to learn a particular technology to increase your capacity for X, Y, or Z. Maybe a database software rather than just writing your clients on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
That would expand your capacity.
Well said. Does that all make sense? Yeah.
This recently happened to me. You're in a meeting and you just blank out on certain getting data that is just important to the point where you just look like, you have amnesia. Just like a moment, like mindfulness.
Yep. That's actually a combination of mental capacity and emotional capacity. And there's the emotion. Ta-da! Yeah.
I've had a situation where it starts with mental and spills over to emotional. It's like what she said, there's a technology that you need, and
Nice and loud so everyone can hear you.
you need this technology, so you start the process of learning it, and your stress level starts to go up because now it's taking so much time, and now it's really stressful, and now it's emotional.
Yep. Do you see how they get interconnected pretty quick? That's why we can't distinguish these. We're gonna take cuts at each one of these, because when you're looking at your business, you can't just take one. You're gonna miss something. So we're trying to this distinction is all encompassing that way. So let's look at physical capacity. You guys sound like you got mental, emotional down. What are some examples of I didn't mean it that way. That doesn't sound good, did it? Sorry. Sounds like you're very clear on that distinction. What about physical?
So I'm at the computer so much doing what I do and what I love, and I'm at the computer and I'm sitting there and I'm really engaged and I'm loving it, and I'm at the computer and I'm not moving and I'm not getting out, I'm not exercising, so physically I'm not getting my energy level up, so I have more capacity, so my physical well-being is not where I want it to be or should be to fill up my cup more and get a bigger cup.
Yeah, energy's low.
Yeah.
Do you know there's other ways that happens? Nutrition's huge. I've done this a few times, so let's see if I'm right. How many of you didn't really have a real, honest lunch today?
Fine, real honest lunch.
Just put your hand up. Yeah, there's, about 10, 15% of the room just raise their hand. If you aren't having enough substance to generate, your capacity drops. Blood sugar drops, your brain's not functioning, you're not clear, you're not listening very well. You can't generate, you don't have any oomph behind your actions. It's a problem, it's a physical capacity issue. What are some other physical capacity issues? Randy?
Not returning emails in a timely manner.
Yes. How many of you have not had an email response from me lately? Some of you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like a week behind on some stuff right now. I'm having an email phone call capacity issue. I haven't checked my phone calls in 3 days, I think it is, right? Is it 3 days today? Yeah, 3 days. Capacity breakdown. Total capacity breakdown. If I don't fix the capacity issue, my business will be what? Impacted, right? So at every level, there's always a capacity issue, always. And we're going to start to discover what they all are. So are we all clear on the different mental, emotional, physical capacities? Yeah.
For workload, that's physical then, right? Even though it's a mental, it takes the knowledge and everything to do it, but if you have too much of a workload to get done in the hours of the day, that'd be under physical.
That's physical, yeah. Like if you have a bunch of charts, you're like, listen, I have to get through these 10 charts in an hour before I go home, and you work as fast as you can, you're not distracted, you're not on Facebook, you're not texting the hubby. What's that?
Nothing.
And you can't get through all the charts, it's a capacity issue. So if your schedule says that you need to do X, and you are focused and you're trying your hardest to complete the task in that given time, and repeatedly you can't do it, that is an absolute capacity issue, physically. Yeah. In the back, yeah.
I'm also traveling. I have to travel and sometimes overseas.
Hmm.
And it just knocks you for a loop. Those 16-hour flights and then going back and forth, but you still have to perform at
You do. So the physical capacity starts first, and then it affects what? The mental, right? Yeah, then it affects the mental capacity. So there's a lot of interconnection, and it's important that you're looking at the layers of this conversation, okay? All right, so let's see what we got. Make sure I did not miss anything. Got that? We got that? Okay, good. So again, we're looking at expanding our capacity. We need to get a larger plate or a larger cup. So here's what we're going to do. First thing in order to do that is we have to uncover all your blocks. So we're hypothetically looking at some of your blocks. Now we're actually going to get on the court and look at the blocks. Here's how we're going to do this. Everyone pull out the handout. It's the one on top. This handout has the different 7 areas of business. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, you need another one? Okay. So we're going to go area by area in a minute, looking at your capacity in every single area of your business. And we're going to do it 3 different times through. Make sense? Okay. So I want to go over the different areas so everyone's relatively clear. Management, so the area of management. Management is really the managing of your company, the strategy, the planning, the meetings, really managing something. Administration, a lot of times admin for a lot of companies is phone calls, emails, just communications. Page number 2, we have finance. Do I need to explain finance? Okay. Marketing. That's usually self-explanatory. Marketing your business, promoting your business. We have sales. Sales is going to be the choice of a customer to either move forward working with you or not. Production is the fulfillment. It's fulfilling your product or fulfilling your service. It's interacting with customers. And then last page, we have quality assurance, making sure those customers are happy. Anyone need any clarification on this, or is this pretty straightforward? Okay, good. So I'm going to give you some time. This is going to take a little bit of time to go through. And as we do it, I'm going to read a question. And then you're going to take that question, you're going to apply it to every single area. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to give you about 7 minutes to do each run through. Deal? If you need more time, just raise your hand. So first one. I'm going to say the question, then I'm going to give you an example. So hold tight. So where are you not handling what you have now with integrity? So where are you not handling right now? I just said that wrong. What are you not handling what you have now with integrity? So let's just use finance. This is a really easy one. If you're not handling the area of finance right now with integrity, how are you going to have more? So if you're not managing your money, you're not following your budget, you're not managing that area really with integrity, how do you expect to have more money if you can't manage what you already have? Right? Yeah? Okay, good. You guys confronted? There was not a lot of nodding on that one. You guys okay?
Do you want us to answer that for everyone?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just giving you an example. So right now we just did finance. So the area that I just gave you an example of is finance. So we're looking at, in the area of finance, if someone doesn't have integrity in that area, their capacity is diminished, yeah? Now we can apply that same piece to admin, to management, to production. I want you to apply that question to every single area of your business. And I want you to see where do you not have integrity in that area. Does that make sense?
Do you mean integrity by progress or by actually doing it right or doing it at all?
It's not a morality thing. There's no morality in it.
Yeah, how are you using the integrity?
Integrity is everyone has a very different distinction of integrity. You want to use your definition of integrity because everyone in this room has a completely different perspective of integrity. And integrity is unique to the individual. Make sense? So to me, it's like, am I doing it the way it's meant to be done? Okay. Here's another way of looking at it. I'm not going to say it because another question is actually going to cover this. So I'm going to not say what I'm just about to say. So anyone fuzzy on what we're about to do? Okay, so here's the question one last time. And then you want to go area by area, applying this question and writing down where you see the blocks around your capacity. So where are you not handling what you have right now with integrity? So go through this, answer every single one. Where right now are you not handling what you have with integrity? Any questions? Yes?
So like with management, what am I not handling in the management of my company with integrity?
Yeah.
Mentally and emotionally?
Nope, just where. Where are you not? And it could be mentally, emotionally, or physically. Absolutely. So for example, for management, sometimes that's meetings. So if you're not running meetings consistently, if you're always flaking on your meetings, moving your meetings, you're not handling it well with integrity. Administration. if you're not returning phone calls like I am in a given amount of time, lacks integrity. It's breaking down. Does that make sense?
But then
yeah. Shoot.
But then I would say, okay, but that's physical, right? Not returning phone calls.
It's fine.
So then, but then would I try to fill out each three, or just in that area? Where do I feel the most?
Just in that area, wherever you feel. It could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be physical.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're not distinguishing mental, emotional, physical at this point. I just wanted to give you that background so you can look and see. Does that make sense, guys? Any other questions? I want to make sure you're really clear. If you have questions, please ask.
So you don't need a breakdown in each one. You just need us to put your breakdown and then try to put it under whether that's mental or physical.
You might want to go area by area. That way you're focused on one area for a given amount of time. So if you really sit with administration, just really sit with it. Where am I having breakdowns around my communications, my emails, my filing system? That's really administration. Just really sit with it for a minute and you'll start to see, oh, you know what? I haven't filed my papers in like 3 months. Okay, integrity. Yep. Oh, you know, I have emails that I haven't looked at in weeks. Okay, integrity. Just start to notice that. Again, by you doing this work, you're going to have to grapple with this distinction. Remember, you've never worked with this distinction. Most of you have probably never worked with this distinction. It might be a little foreign. I'm going to throw you in this. Trust me, we've got plenty more questions here. You'll know it pretty soon. Yeah?
Do you want us to leave the mental, emotional, and physical sections under each of these?
No, you don't need to. Nope, just distinguish the actual breakdown for you. If it's mental, awesome. If it's emotional or physical, awesome. We just want to note the actual breakdown you're experiencing. Good question. Yeah?
All of the examples that you're giving and other people are giving are physical.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please give some
emotional ones?
For the specific areas, because that...
Oh, absolutely. That's a great question. So let's see here. Let's take production is a great one. Production breakdown. If you have so many clients that by the end of the day you're fried and burnt out, that's mental emotional. Yeah? If you are walking out of your day stressed out and frazzled, mental emotional. If the phone's ringing so much that you can't get to it, mental emotional. If you have an employee you work with that drives you bonkers, or you have a staff member that drives you bonkers, mental emotional. Does that make sense? Yeah?
But it's also physical too, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's both.
It's not affecting you physically. The staff member wouldn't be physical. They're not actually physically doing anything to you. It's all in your head.
And the example of too many clients, that would be both physical and mental.
Correct.
Because that would be something that's happening really and something that's happening.
Exactly. That's why I said I wouldn't get too hung up on the mental or emotional or the physical. You just want to distinguish what breakdowns are you having in your company. That's all you want to notice.
So in the company, are we just looking at ourselves, or are we looking at breakdowns that you might have in an employee or a system?
Yeah, employees, the whole company itself. Okay. Yep, that's why we're going area by area, the whole entire company, because you don't do admin, someone else does. Right. So it's company-wide. All right, guys, do some work, and we're going to come revisit. We got plenty more runs through this. All right. Let's look at the next one. How you guys doing? Guys, the room is heavy. Yes. That's all right. As you go through this, you're just going to find you're going to be refining it. So there's not going to be a ton always to write for everyone. How you guys doing? Really, I want to check in. How you guys doing?
Good.
Anyone really stuck on anything?
It's confusing.
Is it a little confusing? What's confusing about it?
Because you don't think about these things.
Mm-hmm.
So it just takes a lot of, like, oh, management. I never make time for that at all.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and some businesses have more of some of this than another. You know, like quality assurance for some businesses is really nil or non-existent. Some businesses, it's huge. You know, so again, just do your best and get through it, because as you go through it, trust me, you're going to see the main blocks. You're going to see the main blocks. They're going to stand out to you.
Can you real quick give one more just management example, and then I'll let you move on?
Oh, of course.
To me, it's like as this unfolds for me, I feel like the other six become the manage. Like managing those would be my management position, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out.
Well, let's look. So why don't you give me an example, or the room, let's give an example of having you're being at your mental capacity in the area of management?
Mine is trying to balance whether I need to hire someone, like time is money. And whether I need to manage it, kind of as management administration, but what do I need to do versus what I could hire someone else to help me do.
Okay.
So I can be more effective.
Gotcha. Yeah, so management, like for you, would be managing staff. Meetings, it's the running of the company. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Perhaps not following the standard rule of three, or rules of three. So you're trying to manage 10 to 15 different principal or primary staff to you instead of delegating it down to 3 to 5 people, and then the further down breaks on the tree. So you're listening to too many Indians in the tribe.
Yes.
So it could be a breakdown in management.
Again, yeah, and again, everyone's company is different. Some of you, like for me, it's just me in my company most of the time. Some of you have many staff members. So you may not have much management going on in your business. Is there other people in your business with you?
A couple, but it's not, that is kind of a big deal, but I think look into, that's a breakdown. If I had more salespeople, more staff, that would lead to higher capacity.
It would, wouldn't it? Because that's what we're looking at right now. If he just said if he had more sales, he would need more staff. That's what we're trying to look at here. We want you standing out in the future of your business. That's actually the next, it's one of the questions we're about to cover, so you're in the right spot. So let's look at the next question. Where are you not being a match to what you said you wanted? That's what he just generated. That's what Bob just generated. Where are you not being a match to what you said you wanted? So in his example, we'll take the area of production really quick. This is a really big one for most of us. If you said you want 30 customers a week, and right now you have 15 customers, and at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, you are frazzled. You're burnt out. That's a capacity issue. Now, is it a physical? Is it a mental? Is it emotional? It could be parts and pieces of all of it. It doesn't matter right now. What matters is we're identifying where we have a block in capacity. So if you want 30 customers a week, and you're only able to handle 15 without having a stress out or a breakdown, you're at capacity. There's no way you're getting to 30. Does that make sense? That's a lot of you in this room. Most small business owners I come across, you're barely handling the customers you have now, but yet you want a tremendous amount more customers. How are we going to attract more customers? A lot more customers if we're not handling the customers we have right now with integrity. You guys get that? So again, we're taking different slices at our business right now. We're looking at this from different vantage points, different perspectives. So you may notice by taking this run through it that you're writing down the same area, the same blocking capacity. It's fine. The more we distinguish, the better off we are in this conversation tonight. Make sense? So duplicates are good. So I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to turn you loose. So where are you not being a match to what you said you wanted? Said another way, I can give you this in another perspective. You all have a vision for your business, yes? If you have a vision for your business and you're not being a match for that right now, it's a capacity issue. We have to be aligned to get what we want. Yes? Would you guys agree with that? Yeah, we got to be aligned, right? If the train track's off, train's not going to roll. Has to be aligned. Many of you are not aligned, whether it's in management, administration, finance, marketing, sales, production, quality assurance. Trust me, there's misalignments in every single area. Some are minute, some are huge. We just want to identify them. Yeah? Any confusion? Any questions? You sure? All right, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. So again, go back through area by area and really look. Really, really look. Yeah, Randy?
I do have a question.
Yep, shoot.
So, because I hear what you say, and I'm like, well, some of my capacity issues are pretty easy to handle, but some of my capacity issues are not a 1-2 punch. They're like, I mean, some of them could be like a 2 or 3 year process.
Yeah.
So, am I taking those down as well and just kind of naming it, like just laying it out, and then after I've got it down, then I can go, okay, and this is the one I'm going to address. Or this is the one I'm going to address.
We can address all of them. I don't care if it's 2 years out. I don't care if it's 3 years out. So for example, one of my capacity issues is when I started leading seminars, I could lead effectively to about 4 people. And my commitment was to lead to 100 people. Are there 100 people in the room? No. Am I at capacity?
Nope.
Yeah, I am. There's not 100 people in the room. Clearly, this is my capacity, right? Our occurring reality is generally an expression of what? Our capacity, currently, right now, in time.
So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just this is where you're at.
It's where you're at. So what's important is I'm clear that I want to be leading to 100 people. And I'm clear on the work involved in expanding my capacity. So as long as I'm taking ground year after year, I will eventually reach my what? Goal. So what's important is I've identified my goal. I know where I want to be, right? And then I'm looking at, I can see my blocks or boundaries or breakdowns in the area of capacity. So I know what to address, and it takes time to address them. There's no hurry. We'll get there when we get there, right? There's no hurry. We're all going to be in business for a while. We got some time. We can relax, stretch, enjoy the ride, right? We got to enjoy ourselves. That's part of the capacity issue. Make sure you're having fun. So no stress, no worries. Don't take it too heavy. We just want to identify it so we can manage it. If it goes unidentified, we're flying blind, and we're going to have a diminished capacity. Yeah? Are we clear? Yep. All right. Ready, set, go. Oh, want me to say the question again? Sorry. My bad. Diminished capacity. Where are you not being a match to what you said you wanted in each area? All right, go. All right, bring it on back. Eyeballs, eyeballs, eyeballs. Okay, again, remember, we're just taking different passes at our business, different passes. So if you see a lot of repeat things coming up, that's awesome. Those are the main blocks in your capacity. Little stragglers, no problem. Some little stuff to your capacity. So the more cuts we take at this, the more I want to uncover. So here we have one more to go. Here's the next one. Where are things breaking down or out of balance? This is a big one. Where are things breaking down or out of balance? So here's an example of breaking down. You are doing everything you can, and you can't keep up with all the phone calls and emails. This is a breakdown in capacity. This is the one I'm dealing with. Here's one for balance. You're working 6 days a week, and you haven't taken a vacation in over a year. How many of you, this is you? You're working many hours, many hours, and you haven't taken a vacation in years. Hands up. Come on, let's get them up. Let's actually see these suckers. Shannon, extend the elbow. What's that? A real vacation. Real vacation qualifies 2 weeks, or at least a week. Geez, at least a week. That's a breakdown in balance. You're burning the candle at both ends. It's not sustainable. Not sustainable. So again, one last swipe through these different areas. Where are you seeing breakdowns? Where are you lacking balance? You all clear? Sure? Any questions? Okay, go. All right, eyeballs. How was that? What'd you all see? Well, let's see. I know. Someone share. I want to hear. What'd you all see? What opened up? Yeah. Nice and loud.
I have it down that I've been intending for 2 years to create a feedback survey.
Okay.
And I don't actually want to hear what anyone wants to hear.
Oh, interesting. They're laughing from acknowledgement. They see themselves in you. Yeah, they see themselves in you. Uh-huh. Okay, got it. Yeah. What else?
Lack of balance.
Lack of balance?
I spend way too much time in one area of my business.
Okay, which is what area?
Production.
Okay, so you have a lack of balance in the area of production. And how is that impeding your capacity?
Well, I guess it removes the capacity to grow the business.
And how?
I'm so consumed with producing or doing research or doing something else that prevents me from expanding.
How? I want you to talk through it so everyone can see it. So yeah, so there he is. He's in the area of production, right? He's spending so much time in his production, it's impeding his capacity. How is it impeding your capacity?
Well, I guess it's impeding it.
Nice and loud.
It's impeding things both mentally and emotionally.
Okay.
Mentally, in the sense that sometimes you spend so much time doing it, you're trying to find all the answers yourself.
Uh-huh.
And there may be a resource elsewhere that could help set you straight.
True.
But, so I guess that's mentally. And emotionally, I would say just getting frustrated with the fact that you may not have the answer, which prevents you from being smart and finding the right answer mentally.
Now, that's the block. How does that block actually keep you from expanding your capacity and having more customers? So his block is diminishing his capacity in the area of production. So it's diminishing how many customers he can handle. How is it doing that? I want to make sure you get this.
Well, because the time isn't being spent efficiently managing my existing clients, because I'm wasting time worrying or thinking as opposed to doing.
That's a piece of it. That's a piece of it. He can't have 10 new clients show up tomorrow because right now his time is pretty much maxed out managing the customers he already has. He's taking almost too much, he's taking too good of care of his customers. He's spending so much extra time. It's literally a full-time job now. So if he is spending all of his time managing his existing customers, how is he going to take 20, 30 new clients? He has no room. He can barely handle what he's managing now. You get that?
Yes, but I guess is there a sense that you may be the overexertion, so it's out of balance. I could still be serving the customers well with 75% of the effort.
Yeah, exactly. You've gone out of balance. You've gone way past normal. And now we got to bring you back to even bubble so that they get served with integrity and you run your business with integrity and you're honoring yourself with integrity. So there's balance and integrity across the board. So it's a win-win-win. I think I have another extra win in there. I think it's just a win and a win, but you know what? It's fine. We'll go with 3 wins. 3 is good. It's a good number. Yeah.
For my startup, which I know you'll get, it's the holding yourself back because of like lack of technology.
Okay.
For instance, I have people wanting to do the service, but oh, I don't have my website up, so or I don't have the I need to get that contract. I got to figure out how to do that. So
Yep.
So it's almost like that people are lining up, but I'm not ready for them.
Yep.
But then it's like, so what? You're supposed to do all the technology before you get any clients, and just be like, I'm ready. That is really difficult. Of what do I do first, but how do I serve them without me overstressing on not really knowing what I'm doing, which can lead to, do I hire someone to do it for me?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, some of that's it's a mental capacity issue. Lack of knowledge. He's not sure. How many of you are not quite sure like how to solve something? Yeah, that's mental capacity. Mental capacity is huge. And that's why there's other professionals in this room or out in the world who could help us and support us so we can expand our mental capacity. Because like you're noticing, it can be frustrating, right? Totally frustrating. Yeah, and some of it is like, yes, there's a timeline of when to put some things in place. Absolutely. I would say like your contract, like you mentioned contract, didn't you? Your contract now would be something that you need now. That's a block in your capacity now. Distinct from maybe a website, depending on your industry, you may not need it today. You may need it in the near future, like next couple months. So there's capacity issues that are pertinent right now. There's some that are, a couple months off, years off. That's part of the strategy and planning we do as business owners is to figure out what's critical, what's not so critical, right? Great, you're in the world of it. You're really in the world of it because you're starting to see the different components of capacity. Great job, really great job. There was another hand. Yes?
Well, I just at the last end of here, I think I had my little aha moment, which is I've always been a perfectionist.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the only one in this room.
But I've always I've worked in the world of deadlines. So I learned to manage and get stuff done at a very high quality in a set amount of time.
Okay.
These are all self-imposed deadlines now. And so I still am the perfectionist, making sure anything I put out there or anything I'm ready for when those clients say yes, which I'm hoping they're all going to say yes, that I'm ready for them. And so I think I'm trying to have every element so perfect before I fully immerse myself and give them the opportunity to say yes.
Yeah.
That is, I think, slowing me up in an odd sort of way.
It is.
So
it's very similar to what he's doing.
I've done some steps, lots of things, but I don't feel like I'm where I need to be yet.
Yeah.
In that. So I guess I have to just jump into some of these things.
I think the saying goes, analysis paralysis. It's kind of like that. A lot of you perfectionists, how many of you are perfectionists? Be proud. Yep, I'm going to keep my hand up too. I'm with you. Yeah, we will probably need one. Yeah, one of the pitfalls of being a perfectionist is you procrastinate because nothing's ever perfect. So it never gets launched. Never gets launched. So it can end up impeding your capacity. Yeah, big time. It's great to notice. Yeah?
Does that sort of spill over into maybe not so much being a perfectionist, but being very self-critical?
Yes.
I don't consider myself really a perfectionist, but I'm never happy with what I've done, just because I don't think it's worthy.
Self-critical. You're being a perfectionist about it. Different sides. Different side of the coin. It's definitely in the world of it. Definitely in the world of it. Yeah. All right, good. So you guys are really starting to see this. So now we got to move on to the next section. So we've identified plenty of blocks in your capacity, things that are impeding your capacity. So the next thing we need to do is we need to put solutions to this. As we put a solution to these different things, what?
That's what we want.
Was that what you're waiting for? Oh, we're gonna end it now. We're done. Let's get out of here. Let's blow this taco stand. A little relief there. It's like, whew. You guys are over that conversation apparently. We'll move on. What we need to do is put the solutions in, right? Because as we solve the problem, what happens? Capacity expands. That's what we want. We get a bigger cup. We get a bigger cup. So let's talk about this. I want to coach someone through this so that you all can see what you're all about to do. We have a volunteer. Okay. Yep, right back there. Just stand up so we can all hear you and see you. All right, so what's your name?
Nancy.
Nancy. Tell everyone what you do, Nancy.
I have started a technology company that automates the banking and construction.
Awesome. Can you all hear her? Yeah, come on up.
No.
It's good for you. It builds character. Yeah.
I have a suggestion on Nancy's paperwork.
Yep.
If somebody's willing to volunteer and write down some of the solutions that are going to come up.
Yep. Someone can do that. You're up here. You're good. Come on up. Come on up.
Okay.
All right. So tell them what you do again.
I have created a technology that automates the workflow for the banking and construction industry.
Awesome. All right. So what's the area that you're noticing a breakdown in your capacity?
It has been in, it's I think in multifaceted. I'm really good at taking an idea and then running with it.
Okay.
I could do that with pretty much anybody's business. Just go and see how I can make it better. Where the difficulty is in the balance of the follow through in writing out the business plan. I have my financials, so I've done that. It's almost like sporadic. I'm a little all over the place. But the developers are overseas, went overseas, found them, got them already going through. Believe it or not, I already have customers waiting for the product at the end of this month.
We have customers.
So I have the customers, and I've gone done the road trip with
So you got the customers and you got the product.
Correct. What I don't have is the actual investment capital, because I've done the road trip, have my deck, done the PowerPoint presentation for everybody. They even like the idea, but there's something, especially in today's market, they don't do pre-revenue funding.
Okay.
And I can't get them to tip over. They see the value, they see the market, they see all the numbers, they get it. But I feel like I don't either instill in them enough confidence as a CEO.
Okay.
I wasn't a crisp enough presentation, or obviously something with the cup and the whatever, something wrong.
It was all the cup. She chose the wrong cup for the presentation and it's ruined. All right, so let's look at this. Let's look at this. So she has the product. She has the customers. She just needs the funding. Y'all following? She needs the funding. So we're going to stay inside of this distinction. We're going to stay inside of this distinction for this conversation because we can get business coaching going all over the place. So is that cool just for this conversation? We got to stay inside the distinction? Yeah. So let's take the case that if she got the funding, she couldn't handle it. It's probably the first place I would go. It's the first place I would go. If the funding happened, what would happen next?
Well, we actually have the next 90-day planned out.
Okay, so what would happen?
There would be contracts signed for certain hardware purchases that need to happen, the getting of the offices, getting certain people, staff members hired.
So you have to put everything together. Like you have to put the actual tangible brick and mortar.
Yeah, that is all outlined actually.
Good.
Like it's set up.
Yeah, you've done the business plan.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's not really all nice and neat, in a business plan.
Okay. Write that down. Breakdown in capacity.
It's kind of scribble, it's all over the place. I have pieces of it. I have the financials, but I feel like I don't have a clear go-to-market strategy. I just don't
pause. You're saying gold. Really, you're saying gold. Up here, it probably doesn't occur that way.
Is it 2 million?
No, it's great. It's great. So let's talk this out. Can you hear she's not clear? She even said the word she's not clear. Lack of clarity causes a huge block in our capacity. When we're not clear, big block in capacity. You guys get that?
What did I say I was not clear?
You said you scribbled. Yeah, you said you scribbled out kind of here and there. And there's not a really clear way of how it's going to be executed. Those are my words. That sound like what you were talking about.
Okay.
Does that still ring true?
Technically, there were 3 of us. I did bring on a CTO and a CMO.
Okay.
Amazing people with a tremendous amount of experience. But really, the buck stops with me.
Capacity always does. Capacity is only with you.
Only with me. So if I have contracts written up by lawyers, I'm the one that has to look at them, review them. Numbers given to me when an investor looks at me and he says, your numbers are crazy, I have to be the one that answers it.
And you've got some of that?
And I have gotten that from investors, and I go, I know what the market is.
Crazy in a good way or crazy in a bad way?
Crazy in an amazing way.
Great, just want to make sure we're all clear.
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's crazy in an amazing way. So,
okay.
And that's what scares them off as well.
Maybe.
So I feel like I'm, when you're at the very edge right there of a glider, like you're ready.
Right.
For some reason, I'm stalled.
Well, I think we got the reason. Again, it's always easier out there than it is up here, okay? So they're going to get the answer before you will. It's natural. Can you guys kind of get from how she's talking about this? It's a capacity issue around just managing the inflow. She's going to get the money, and the contracts are going to come flying in, and she's going to be overwhelmed as hell. You guys going to get that about her? Yeah. Yes? Can you see them shaking their head?
I see them.
But here's what's good. That's a body of people who are just listening and watching. And if they can sense and hear in your speaking, in our interaction, that, oh yeah, if the contracts were signed and you got the money, that flood would knock you over, that's the block.
Because your investors need to feel that you're 100% confident and you're ready to rock and roll. And I'm not I don't know, but it sounds like you're not as confident as you probably should be.
Okay, no, good. Thank you. And it's not just mental. There's a what you don't know, you didn't even know about.
Right.
So again, it's always easier on the outside than the inside. So what they're perceiving and sensing and picking up is if you got this huge inflow, because you have an awesome thing on your hands, clearly. No one's doubting that. The numbers look amazing. The people are giving you the thumbs up. Again, we're not in their head. We're just perceiving, right? From a capacity issue, if the flow happened and you got the deals, the money came in, that wave would knock you over. I want to give you a visual so you can get it. The wave would knock you over, even though it's a good thing. It's a good wave. It's a good amount of money, right? What are you present to?
I'm sorry?
What are you present to?
What am I present to?
Yeah. Something just went through your face there.
How do I get from here to there? How do I get what I need to give them and everybody? It's not only investors, because it's also the people that will be working for me.
Yeah.
It's the corporate culture.
If you got the money right now, the first thing that you would do is you have to take all that sporadic stuff and put it together.
Yes.
Right? So what if you did that first?
I need capital. I need capital. There's no way I could. Yeah, there's no way I could sign a contract for certain hardware and certain issues without.
It's a funding. She needs funding just to get the physical office in place.
Well, also certain legal assets, certain things I need.
He's talking about the business plan.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
Actually write your business plan.
Oh, you mean?
Maybe her plan would cost money. I don't know.
Oh, got it. I misheard you.
I could write the business plan.
To me, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I feel like if you had all that in a neat little bundle with a bow on it, and you'd walk in there, you'd be a foot taller, and you'd hand it over, and you'd be like, here's all your answers.
And they'd be ready to give you the
have the clarity.
Yeah, that's because there's different facets to balance.
Right.
There's different facets to capacity.
Right.
So the tidal wave that would knock you over is a little bit more mental emotional. Yeah. What he's highlighting when you said earlier, the lack of clarity, that's the actual paperwork. That's the plan in place. Because there's an integrity to that. No, it's great. There's an integrity to that. Can you get she's really smart? Yeah, right?
Obviously not if
No, you don't get to go there. No, you don't get to go there. Can you get that you're smart?
You have to have confidence in yourself.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Just say yes.
All right.
Okay, good.
It's okay.
So hold on. So what's there is, it's not a lack of intellect. It's all in your head, which is actually the problem is you're so smart, you can actually keep it in your head. So to you, some of this seems really basic or relatively simple. Right. You need it on paper. Because what you think and what communicates to the other person isn't the same. Even though you think you're communicating correctly, they're still not fully grasping it. Auditory is a much smaller nerve than a visual nerve. I think it's like 4 times the size, if I'm correct. Doctor? Yeah, okay, cool. So they need to see it. Okay, so we could coach her for hours up here, so we're gonna wrap this up.
Thank you.
No, you're doing great. So a couple takeaways.
Okay.
There's a mental emotional capacity, because if that money you're gonna get such a wave of business, it's gonna put you to the wall.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you need to fortify that now. Right. You actually have to demonstrate with integrity over time that you can handle that inflow. So if you can't stand there and say, I swear I can handle that inflow came tomorrow, I got the plan, the people, it's done. Double, triple check, done. You have to be able to say that. Yeah. Okay, that's one takeaway. Second takeaway is the plan, like they're highlighting. You got to have the actual physical document on their paper so that all of that stuff in your brain that's easy for you to handle and manage is actually visual, tangible, readable. Yeah?
Yeah.
High five.
High five.
Good work.
Thank you.
Give her a hand, guys. So that's what you're about to do. Do you guys get that? That's what you're about to do. I want you to go area by area, and I want you to write down, what are the solutions? Do I need a web designer to help me with the technology? Do I need a finance coach to help me with my finances? Do I need to read a book? Do I need to put a system in place? Go area by area and write down what solutions do you need to have in place so that your capacity in that area expands. Clear? All right, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do this. Go ahead and go. All right, everybody, bring it on back. So what'd you see? A lot of work. What'd you see?
Well, when you said do the solution part, I'm actually pretty stoked on the business, and I'm actually almost like, you know, the first part you're like, oh, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. But then when you do solutions, you're like, you're damn right I own a business because you feel like you deserve to.
Yeah.
Because you have solutions to problems, and when you start writing solutions, the problems become so minor where there's 3 avenues of each one, but then you write a solution, you're like, oh, come on. I could do that a little more, and I would just crush the capacity level. And then put me on the next one, and I'm still good on that one.
Yeah.
It's not going to be until I get up a little bit like, ooh, slow down a little bit. But,
Yeah.
So that's why I always, that's what I got to do.
It's good. How do you notice that 1 or 2 little things in there will make a big difference? Yeah? And we have a holy shit. See? Right. Perfect. That's an emotional expansion in capacity. That's good. That's what you want. So I want to talk through this a little bit. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to partner up in groups of 2. So would you mind turning around and jumping with her? You 2 partner up. So we have that works. Would you turn around? All right, we got Australia, 2. Randy, would you mind jumping up here? Up. She's going to jump up. We have 1 jumping up. She's going to jump in your chair for a quick minute. So partner up. Okay. So get with your partners real quick. Introduce yourselves. Unless you're married.
Role play.
What?
There's some water all over his thing. And then he said, introduce, he goes, hi, I'm wet.
Okay, so with your partner, here's what I want you to do. Hold on. I know you're excited. Here's what I want you to do. Pick an A and a B. So pick an A and a B between your partner. All right. So A's, you're going to go first. Here's what I want you to do. Focus. A's, I want you to pick the number 1 area where you notice the most amount of blocks in your capacity. So we're not going to go through every area. Pick one area, the one that has the most amount of blocks in your capacity. And I want you to read that area and read those blocks to your partner. So listen, we got to listen really carefully. This is important. After you've read the blocks, I need you to explain to your partner how these blocks are literally holding back your business from growing, being more consistent, and thriving. I want you to explain that you need to get that correlation. Deal? After that, then I want you to go over what solutions have you come up with. Once you've come up with the solutions and you communicated, B, your partner, you want to give them some solutions as well if they need some more. If they need some ideas, provide some other solutions. Deal? Okay, so A's, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do this, and then we're going to switch. I'll tell you when to switch, so don't worry about switching on your own. I'll tell you when to switch. All right? All right, A's, you're up. Go. All right, A's, you're done. Wrap it up. All right, B's, you're up now. All right, bring it on back. Come on, bring it on back. Eyeballs, eyeballs. You guys like that part. So let's hear, what are some of the solutions y'all came up with? Someone who hasn't shared tonight. Don't all raise your hand at once. Yes. So tell us your area.
Business management.
Okay. And what were some of the blocks you were noticing?
That I haven't set up clear enough goals for the number of clients that I need to get to be at my capacity and how to take steps to market to them to get there.
Awesome. Okay, really clear. Really, really clear. So what are some of the solutions you and your partner came up with?
For me to set up a clear calendar for next year and have it mapped out and know exactly where my availability is going to be and how I'm going to change my makeup schedule.
Good. Okay, so there's a couple structures. Okay, awesome. Do you have any questions on it, or are you pretty clear? Sounds good to me? All right, good work. All right, who else? One more person, yeah.
So I had management to a blockage.
Nice and loud.
And how to separate myself emotionally from wanting my employees to like me, and figure out how to I guess the word discipline or guide or direct them in a positive way. I don't feel like I'm hurting anybody's feelings, and that's been a big block. And so one thing that we came up with was to do one-on-one trainings. So there's more time spent with them, trying to show them and direct them from a leadership standpoint, and hopefully that would come out to be, or that would result in having less instances where I have to have disciplinary action.
Good.
To the lead first kind of approach.
Awesome. Really, really great. You guys get that? Yeah. Good work. Are you stumped, or you got it all handled, you think?
Oh, the doing is a little different than the saying, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. But that's what's left for us, right? So we did the work on all the different areas. So really what I'm charging you all with is the discipline to go execute on this. So this isn't just some time you spent working on your business that's going to get filed in a folder that you're not going to see till next year when you do your filing. You really need to take this and now put it into your calendar. That's the structure. Put this into your calendar. Put it into your business day, the day you work on your business, so that these things actually get implemented, and it's just not another great thought you had. You guys do that? Yeah. Pinky swear? Seriously? All right, good. All right, so would you mind reading the intention one more time?
Sure. That you uncover what is impeding your current capacity and understand how it's affecting the growth and consistency of your business.
Did we do that?
Yeah.
Yes. Great work, guys. Really great work. Give yourselves a hand. So I want to hear, what did you all get for yourselves? What did you learn? What did you see about your businesses that are doing the work? Yeah?
A fire.
A fire?
I mean, like, you have like this burning desire to keep wanting more and more and more out of yourself. And when you're just being honest with yourself, it's more easy to see that. And then when you're in a room full of like-minded people that want more and more for themselves, just this thing to say is that, you are capable of so much if you're just willing just to go after it.
Awesome. That's great. That's really great. You had your hand up? Yeah?
It's like seeing all these recipes on Pinterest for Halloween and thinking, I could never do that. But then when I see the ingredients listed out and then the instructions of how to mix it together, that I can do that.
It's just like cookies. Business is just like cookies. It's just like Pinterest and cookies. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's great. Yeah, so it sounds like there's some relief there. It sounds like it's some relief. Is there some relief in that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, Shane.
The analogy that's coming to my mind is I can see all the handbrakes that are on my system. And I can clearly see that one down and that one down. And I can go fast.
You can. How many of you actually saw that for yourselves? Shane, you said that really well. How do you notice there are some handbrakes? There's definitely some brakes on in different facets of your business that if you're just to release that, things would naturally, that's the key word here, naturally guide and glide a little faster and easier. When your capacity expands, one way you're going to know, it moves easier. There's a natural effortlessness about it. Just kind of moves. Things are opening up. Things are happening. It's real natural. Yeah?
The thing that really resonated with me was when you defined, the distinction, capacity, integrity over time. Because it's easy to be like, okay, I'm gonna, have integrity in this and do this, and you put together this really great thing, but if you can't maintain it and be consistent with it, then, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because you just have to rebuild it again and rebuild it again. And then it's the same thing with the employees and the people that work with you. If you don't have integrity consistently, then, those weaknesses show up in them as well. And
right.
So it's, it's just that, just really consistency and integrity consistently.
Yep. Well said. It's overtime. That's why overtime is in there. It's really easy to pump up your capacity around something for a week or a month. Ooh, I had a really good month around my finances. It's can you do it consistently over time? That's where the demonstration comes in. I'm really demonstrating I can handle what I said I wanted. By demonstrating it to yourself and others, that's what really shows your capacity is there. And that's generally the tipping point where you notice your business expand naturally and easily. Does that make sense? All right, great work. So shift conversations. I want to cover what's happening in here next month. Next month is a 2-part seminar. So November and December, it's a 2-part seminar. It's your annual planning. So you can do one or the other. I recommend you do both. It's annual planning. It's a 2-part seminar. Do both. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you about November. November is all about completing your year. Why do we need to complete your year? Calendar says, what else? Why?
Celebrate your success.
Celebrate your success. So many of you, you don't complete your wins. You don't complete the things that worked, that didn't work about your year. So you do this. You're trying to, you drag all this stuff. Here's my wins, my things I didn't accomplish, all this stuff. And you bring it and you start to create your new year on top of all this old stuff. For some of you, it's not just 2012. It's 2011 and 10 and 9. And you're trying to create a new year on top of a bunch of old stuff. It doesn't work. So November is all about completion. It takes us literally 2 hours to complete your year. Literally, completion's not the easiest thing in the world. So literally by the end of November seminar, you will have a clean slate. Clean slate. December stands on the shoulders of November. And December is all about the creation of. It's the creation of 2013. We start with your vision. We create your vision for the year. Once we have your vision for the year, we start to create your business and personal goals that are designed to fulfill on that vision. Then you'll pick the one goal that's most important to you in your year. And we're going to start to put a framework around that goal and actually build it out so that you will successfully fulfill on that goal. So you'll have the tools, the technology, and how to actually go do that for yourself and all the other goals that you set. Make sense? So we do them relatively close together because of the holidays. So this is kind of a bop-bop. It's a 1-2 punch. So everyone do this. Pull out this form. So the November seminar is on the 14th, and the December one is on December 5th. Again, they're really close together, so we can knock out the annual planning and get it done before the holidays really roll around. Does that make sense?
These are on Wednesdays?
Yes, always on Wednesdays. So if you want to be at the seminar next month, please check the box or boxes under November or December. Again, you can do one or the other. You can do both. If you want to do your annual planning right, do both. So take a minute. Please put your name, email, and phone number at the top of the page. And then if you want to attend November, December, check the boxes, fill it out completely, and just pass it in the center when you're done. Yeah?
If you are at a stage where you really don't have a business that's off the ground yet.
Do you plan on launching it this coming year?
Yeah.
Then you need to do your planning.
So December would make sense, but November probably wouldn't.
December would make more. Yeah, if you haven't started your business, I would start December.
Okay.
Yeah, the December one, that's going to be the creation of. So fill this out completely. If any of you want some information on some of the different coaching programs, just check the boxes at the bottom, and I'll follow up with you in the next couple of days. Because I'm going to improve my capacity around emails and phone calls. All right, take a minute, fill this out. When you're done, pass it in the center, and Randy will collect them.